Hi foodie friends, Jessica here with Savory Experiments, and today we are making roasted sweet potato cubes. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our foodie fun on YouTube and other social media channels. We have them all. These aren't just regular roasted sweet potatoes. We're not just gonna cube them up and throw them in the oven. They are going to be tossed in an excellent seasoning blend that adds a little bit of sweet heat to your sweet potato, brings out those natural flavors. So I've started with a half a tablespoon of coarse kosher salt. You know that's my favorite. And now I'm gonna do a half a teaspoon of chili powder. So chili powder, C-H-I-L-I, is actually a blend of different types of chilies and is meant to season the super stew chili. You can swap that out with just a regular one chili powder, like an ancho chili powder or chipotle powder. That's perfectly fine. But well, that doesn't fit. I have a full teaspoon of smoked paprika here, so a little bit of sweet heat. And I'm also gonna do a full teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm not using fresh garlic because we are going to roast these at a super high heat, 450 degrees. Garlic, fresh garlic, would burn at that heat temperature. And burnt garlic tastes bitter. We don't want that. And I have a half a tablespoon of light brown sugar here. Sugar, yes, sugar. So sugar is gonna help bring out the natural flavors in the sweet potato, and it's gonna caramelize on the edges, letting that spice mixture really stick in, bringing out even more natural flavor. And freshly ground pepper, about a half a tablespoon. Okay. Mix that up, no need to dirty another spoon. I'll just use my measuring spoon here, breaking up all of those pieces of brown sugar, and getting everything evenly mixed so that when I toss it onto my potatoes, they don't have any clumps and every cube gets even love from the seasoning. Set that aside, and now chop up your sweet potatoes. Did you know that sweet potato is actually one word, sweet potato? Sweet is not an adjective, it's a noun in this case, and the Sweet Potato Council has moved to make it one word in all of the dictionaries. Cut off any yucky pieces, but no need to peel your sweet potato, one word. You can get most of the yummy, delicious nutrients that come in the form of a sweet potato, which are more vast and plentiful than any other kind of potato, from the skin. What you do need to do is try to make sure that your cubes, and they don't have to be exact cubes, are all an even size. The reason for this being that you want them all to cook at generally the same rate. If some bits are much larger than other bits, like these two here, this one's about half the size, this one's gonna need a lot longer to cook. This one's either gonna burn or start to dry out, and that's not the goal here. So if you're gonna spend any extra time, make sure you do it making sure all your sweet potato cubes are roughly around the same size. Sweet potatoes are an interesting potato because they have a lot of water in them. That means that they don't fry up the same as other starchy or waxy types of potatoes. And why, when you get sweet potato fries, they're generally a little bit more limp than your other kind of crispy fry. Unless, of course, you toss them in a starch, a potato starch or a corn starch. These are going to get a bath in olive oil ahead of time, which is a high smoke point oil. So we know that it's not gonna burn when we throw them in our super hot oven. We're gonna toss them in oil, and that is gonna help the seasoning blend stick to the outside and evenly distribute. Okay, now that we are done chopping up all of our sweet potatoes, I'm gonna give it that nice bath in olive oil. It's about 2 tablespoons. You don't want so much that they're swimming, but you need enough to coat the outside of all of the sweet potato. Go ahead and toss that before you add the spice mixture. If you just add the spices and then the olive oil, or the other way around, you'll end up with most of the spices on the bottom of the bowl, and they'll stick in clumps to parts of the potato, but they won't evenly cover the potato. And you want to give equal love to each cube here. You can also use other high smoke point oils, anything neutral, vegetable oil, canola oil, avocado oil. It's up to you. Okay, so go ahead, and I usually do about a half a sprinkling here instead of the whole thing, and then give it a good toss and then do the rest of it. Okay, get the rest of it in there. It smells good already. These are gonna be great. I'm serving them with burgers tonight. These are one of my kids' favorites. They think it's like eating candy. We won't tell them that it's kind of healthy for them. It's our little secret. Okay, move that aside. So other than using a super high heat, the next trick is to make sure that they have plenty of space on the baking sheet. You don't want to crowd the potatoes. Like I said before, they have a lot of water in them, and if they're too close to each other, they'll actually create steam and steam each other instead of getting that nice crunchy skin that you're looking for. So the goal here is nice crunchy exterior and soft fluffy interior. Okay, so a single layer, as much space between them all as you can possibly get on a pan that looks a little too big, and that's perfect. So preheat your oven to 450 degrees. Put these in, let them roast for about 15 minutes. Toss them so that you can brown another side and put them in for another 10 to 15 minutes. You can use a cake tester or a fork or a knife and pierce one or two of what looks like to be larger pieces all over the pan to make sure that they're nice and fluffy and easily fork through. And there we go, perfect roasted sweet potato cubes. I'm gonna regret this because I'm positive I will burn my tongue, but I couldn't resist. Crunchy outside, perfectly seasoned, all those little bits are flavor bombs just waiting to explode in your mouth. Super soft and creamy on the inside. From my kitchen to yours, have a great day.